If I'm telling you that you can get film photography out of your digital camera with the most precise simulation you can find on the market, you might be in. So let me show you. FilmPack 8 is out, and today we're gonna see around the new features that this new version is offering you, with a quick jump in immersion to show you how I edit my pictures using FilmPack 8. My way of working is through Lightroom. My workflow will be to pre-edit, give like the direction of what I want, and what I want to get this vintage look that FilmPack is giving with all the presets. Then it emphasize the idea that I had at the beginning. So I already edit everything here. You might recognize the picture that's been used by DxO for the communication on the version 8, and today we are going to see this picture. When you want to jump into FilmPack, you just do click right, edit in FilmPack 8. It's gonna open a pop-up window. We need the same Lightroom adjustment that we did. Most of the time it's your own preferences, but I will change it to Adobe RGB 1988 and switch it to 240 for the resolution to get the best quality, no compression, and edit. It makes us move to DxO FilmPack 8. At the same time, you can see the name here, it's creating another file, a TIFF file dash modifier, and once you are here you have different things you can do on the software. The good thing about FilmPack 8 for you is that the software is made in a way that everything is extremely simple and go straight to the point to what you need, which is editing a picture. So let's just have a quick overlook on everything. You can save the image here, save the preset of your image right there. You have different view options here if you want to see the before and after. You can change the reference image, a side-by-side preview, and then the different zoom that you can have. Here we have the 50%, but you can also zoom to 1:1, and I really like that FilmPack feels extremely smooth to use, even with the zoom, etc. If you want to crop your picture, rotate your picture, or change the horizon of your picture, we can have the control panel right there. I have the histogram that appears here, but you can also hide it with this little option here, and have the same as Lightroom, the small window to see everything happening on your frame and where you are in your picture. It's always good to have it nearby. What is FilmPack by DxO? You know how famous is DxO for the precise correction of the lens, and they applied this way of doing to a software that will reproduce, simulate as close as possible your favorite film to your digital work. This new version is coming as well with new features, starting with the time warp mode. It's a new feature with a time travel slider that apply historical photo style to your images from 1800 up to the 20th century with a smartphone look. So you don't get only the vintage look, but also modern ones. And this time warp feature lets you dig into the different style of the century by aging your pictures and showing different results that might surprise you. One of the good things that is very welcoming for the Photoshop users is a full integration on Photoshop. You can now directly apply all the presets that you can find in their standalone software directly into Photoshop with the preview and the live modification, which makes it very easy to use, to have a seamless workflow. And every time I used to talk with DxO, they are always pointing out that how hard it is to exit your workflow when you are doing your thing, and they are really paying attention to keep you in your workflow to be able to not break all this experience that you gather through years. The most important of what's going to happen with FilmPack will happen on the right side, on the control panel. This is where you will get all the different film, negative and positive, that you can find in the market, but also that you cannot find anymore. Of course, I would say the easiest way to go through the preset is directly to see the preview and to try one by one everything. And once you select one, you have a quick description of the film simulation, what it's supposed to do, where it comes from, so it's always a good thing to have. You don't always have to have it appear here, so you can deselect it just in case you want to jump quickly into different things. And it changed the control panel to the customize. So once you decided what you want, you can customize it the way you want. So you have the intensity of the film simulation, if you want the effect to appear stronger or not. You also have the grain that you can change separately from the film simulation. It's always good to have if you have like a preferred grain that you like to use, and be consistent with the grain but not with the colors and the light, how it appears on your pictures. You can change it afterward. And of course the medium format, large format and a custom format to make it match your picture, and a split toning. And then after that you can always jump back into the classic editing through FilmPack directly, so you don't have to go back and forth every time. You can fix it directly here and having your final picture ready. Of course, it comes with new styles, including the famous CineStill 800, but also new ones like the Harman Phoenix 200 that I show you in video, with this very specific contrasty look that at least now you can try before buying the film. And it brings the library for a total of 153 styles. So with this, I don't think you can have any excuse to not be creative. One of the good surprises that I didn't know is that you can now scan your negative film and convert it into positive directly through FilmLab. For my personal opinion, it's still not perfect, but it's a new feature that I think is embracing fully the film photography experience, and I would love to see in the next version something a little bit more ergonomic and going a little bit more deep into the options to be able to use only FilmPack as a full film photography experience for your digital work, but as well for your scan that you can do through your camera or other traditional scanner. So I think this is my favorite feature for this new version, because I was not expecting that at all, but I think it was a very good idea to add it to the software, because nowadays there is not a lot of solution on the market to scan your film. For example, here, like this film tends to bleach my white in the picture, so I might want to increase the highlight just to bring back a little bit more contrast, and maybe having some of the black down a little bit more, and it looks better. But we can keep going. There is also way more creative ones like the CineStill Redrum 200. Talking about CineStill, one of the new film simulation that you have is the famous CineStill 800T, and tons of different ones that you have seen. Also another one that I tested directly in one of my videos. If I find it here, maybe I can go there. That was the Harman Phoenix 200 that has been released 1 year ago, maybe 1.5 years ago, something like this, which is very contrasty and have like this specific look that to me looks very, very similar to what I've done in pictures in my video that I invite you to go watch. For you, you can sort it through different way with the filters, with the legacy film, the negative and the slide. You can even have digital films that has been added like the Sony and the Fuji, which will give you different look once again, more clean, more modern, I would say, with less grain. But you can always add more grain if you want. You can just select a color slide feed, for example, and get like, let's say, the Provia 400, and then you get more texture on your picture. In the previous version of FilmPack, you have also the time machine, which is a little bit different from the time warp, which is more in a way for you to go through history of photography, to look at different styles that existed through time, and to apply this style that you have seen everywhere in the past to your own picture. It's another good way to discover different styles and what's available in the library without going through all the previews and selecting in one by one. You know, in the retro gaming, you have like the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo, and all this console that is now retro gaming. But at one point, digital camera will be also retro. And I think it's already started because they added some presets related to Sony and Fujifilm. You can apply this specific style to your camera to be able to match a Sony or Fujifilm look related to the simulation that DxO offered us on this new version. And now you also have tons of different creative texture that you can apply on your picture. So this one will be a little bit different and pushing beyond the editing of the lighting and the colors by adding texture. You can have also the specific film stripe that you have on the border of your picture. You have different frame, different texture of paper with wrinkles, etc. So it's up to you to see how you can use it to be creative, but it's a good option to have once again to embrace even more this film look that you can find in some of the old pictures. And the filter has been adjusted. Once again, you can go through the pictures to adjust some of the color, You always have all the different things with the luminosity mask that works very well if you want to change a specific side of your picture. I'm pretty happy with the result here. Maybe the grain is a little bit too strong. I would prefer a grain which is a little bit softer. So we can go, for example, to the 100, or maybe we can go back to a 200 grain, but make it match a medium format. Yeah, that's great. Then we have a clean image and the color that I was looking for. And you can see the before and after, which is completely different, and I didn't even notice, just to show you how powerful can be this software into editing and giving you a creative direction that will drastically change the look of your picture. You save it and then you can go back to Lightroom, a copy will be created with the final one, and you just have to export it and your picture is ready to be shared on social media. And that's it, that was the new feature on top of all the other things that FilmPack have been added during the past years, and I was very happy to be working once again with the EXO to present to you their software and the new version. If you want to get a new license, the price will be 139.99 euros, and if you want to upgrade from the previous version and get all the new features that we talked about today, it will be about 79.99 euros. But before to buy anything, remember that you can get 30 days free trial on the new version to see if it's something that can fit well to your workflow. I hope you liked it. I will see you in another video. I'm still working on the next video in the countryside of Mongolia, so be sure to not miss it when I will publish it, so I invite you to subscribe if you liked it. Otherwise, I see you on social media for more pictures. Thank you for watching, that was Antoine. Ciao!